Welcome to this tutorial. You are about to learn how to build a spaceship in a way that allows you to travel further in space without using extra fuel. The objective is optimizing the delta V of your rocket by improving the construction design of the command module. To reach further destinations in space, a ship needs extra delta V, known as the difference in speed expressed as meters per second that the ship can experience before it runs out of fuel. A quick glance at the equation reveals that we can boost the delta V in multiple ways. Either carrying additional fuel to increase the wet to dry mass ratio or improving the engine ISP efficiency. However, this simple tutorial takes a different approach and demonstrates how we can boost the delta V without modifying either the rocket engine nor increasing the fuel capacity. The key factor to this rare strategy is the 2.5 meter service bay, what I like to call the most disgustingly overpowered part in the game. To guide you through this video, I designed two different vessels that share identical fuel capacity and rocket engine model. However, their command modules are quite different from each other, and this aspect plays a big role in boosting the delta V of the spaceship. Watch carefully. The first shape is simple, effective and cheap, but has only 2,790 meters per second of delta V, which isn't super impressive. Sure then, you may say, and these answers are perfectly correct, but they create drawbacks. Your ship will be more expensive, sluggish, and to make things worse, you'll have to redesign the first stage into something even larger and costly to accommodate the now heavier upper stage. None of this is ideal for your early career game where money is your most limiting factor. The solution is simple. Ditch the Mark 1 command module entirely, get rid of the heat shield and throw the parachute in the trash. Compared to the traditional setup, I designed the entire command module inside of the 2.5 meter service bay. To make this comparison as fair as possible, I made sure to incorporate the same features integrated in the Mark 1 command module, such as 3 passenger seats, 40 units of monopropellant, a complete array of RCS thrusters, batteries, SAS, and antenna for communications. The service bay, plus all of the equipment, is significantly lighter than the traditional Mark 1 command module. This solution works because to increase the delta V of your rocket, it is not about the fuel mass that plays a role, but rather the ratio between fuel mass and rocket mass. Thus, a rocket that can hold the same fuel mass experiences a high fuel to rocket mass ratio, increasing the delta V. With this lighter design, the production cost is cheaper by 20%. The delta V has increased by 61%. Our thrust to weight ratio has gone up by 30%, and the wet mass has fallen by 24%. Without reducing the fuel capacity by a drop. The service bay is built so damn well that it can sustain atmospheric re-entry from the most aggressive angle at ridiculous speeds. Here I'm returning from the Mun at 45 degrees at above 3 kilometers per second, and our Kerbals inside are perfectly safe. Not requiring any ablative heat shield saves us 1.3 tons of dead weight. During re-entry, the service bay offers yet another cool perk. Opening the doors will noticeably increase the drag, like an integrated mini aero brake. Be careful with this one. If you do this while hypersonic, with the wrong angle, it will turn into a massive air fryer, and your astronauts will turn into parachutes, which saves us 300 kilograms. When flying subsonic, just open the bay doors, deploy the parachute of the Kerbal seated in the middle. This will allow you to control how fast you are descending. The negative aspects of this approach are two. The first one is that high part count may affect your game performance, although going from 3 parts to 14 should have negligible effects, unless you're running KSP on a Commodore 64. The second detrimental effect is purely aesthetic, meaning that your crafts will look less realistic, which is a concern only for cinematic videos, and not a major flaw in a career game. In summary, the ships have the same amount of fuel and identical engines, so the differences in delta V performance are entirely due to the changes I made in the dry weight of the command module. This is a clear example of how increasing the percentage of fuel mass out of the total craft mass increases the overall delta V if fuel capacity is unaffected. In this video, we have looked at the construction method that you can use to redesign the command module of your spaceship. By understanding how the formula for delta V works, we have learned that a slightly lighter ship design can deliver a noticeably superior performance in cost and operational range of space travel. The design that we just looked at was inspired by the method of construction of orbital spaceplanes seen on the legendary channel of Turbopumped. If you watch closely, you will notice a recurring pattern. Lots of his designs incorporate the service bay as a mainframe for the command module to save substantial weight. Using the heavier Mark I command module would have disrupted the careful balance of fuel mass to engine ratio that allows for these models to work so well.
Oh no.
My hope is that this video inspires you to go in the VAB and build your own radical spaceships with the knowledge you have learned today. I'm also going to experiment further into this rabbit hole because it seems the Turbopumped considered using aerodynamic shells to build even lighter command modules for some of his later videos. So my objective is to figure out the secrets of those building techniques and bring you more videos on this topic. What we saw today naturally applies to real-life physics as well, where spacecraft are upgraded with lighter and stronger materials to withstand stress and improve the payload carrying performance. If you found this simple tutorial useful, please consider checking out more content from my channel and subscribing. I'm extremely busy with uni, but I always find the time to deliver new space content.